Hey guys, it's Glenn from glenscarcollection.com, and today we're going to talk about one of my favorite cars, the C8 Corvette. Remember, if you like what you see on this channel, hit the subscribe button. If you're a ready subscriber, hit the notification bell. I post at least 3 videos a week, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern Time, but many times I'll give you a 4th video, and you're not going to see that 4th video unless you hit the notification bell. Remember to like and share these videos so our channel can grow, and as always, leave a positive comment below. Well, as somebody that's owned many Corvettes, I love the C8 Corvette. In fact, I'm going to say that that's my favorite Corvette. Now, this video was filmed over the summer. I'm showing shots from my full review of the car. Watch this video to the end. I'll link that review. You definitely want to check it out. Everything I covered in that review, I won't cover in this video. So this video, I'm going to tell you 5 things that I love about the C8 Corvette. For a comprehensive review where I drive it and exhaust clips and going through the menus and the interior, definitely watch to the end so you can see that video next. All right, so this is one of my favorite cars that I've driven all this year. I've reviewed on this channel since it started a few years ago, 800 different cars. That's right, 800 different cars, probably the most of any YouTube channel. And very rarely do I drive a car that exceeds my expectations. So my expectations were pretty high with this car. I didn't really want to get my hopes up, but this car, Chevy knocked it out of the park, Corvette knocked it out of the park. It really exceeded my expectations. So I'm going to give you 5 reasons that I love about this car. A couple may be obvious, but the last one won't, and you'll be shocked if you're a viewer of this channel what my 5th reason is. So make sure to watch this all the way to the end. Well, my favorite thing about this car is the configuration, that it's mid-engine. I've owned many front-engine cars, many mid-engine cars, and many rear-engine cars. And my favorite configuration is mid-engine. I just think it makes the car so nimble, so balanced, and I'm all about the handling. So any car that's mid-engine, I love. And honestly, after owning many Corvettes, I've been going to mid-engine cars. I haven't owned a Corvette in a while because I've been choosing the NSXs, the Cayman S's, the Lotus Exige S's because they were mid-engine cars. But you know what? Mid-engine is bringing me back. I can't wait to own a C8 Corvette. Now this car is gorgeous. This is an Elkhart Lake Blue, which actually after seeing this is my favorite color, and I actually love this adrenaline red interior. It's striking in person. I hope these pictures do it justice, but it looks even more phenomenal in person. So that was reason number 1, mid-engine. Now another thing I like about this car, which I think really adds to the driving experience, and you may not realize unless you've owned one, is the Targa. Now, all the Corvettes I've owned have been Targas, except for Z06s I've owned that have been fixed roof. Now, the C7 Corvette, you were able to have a Targa on the Z06, but typically, I track my Z06s, I even track my base vat, if there is such a thing as a base Corvette. And it's just a whole different experience when you're driving on the road the Targa. You just, especially in the Northeast here where the weather's bad most of the time, when you do have a sunny, clear day, it's so cool to take that Targa off. You get, you can really feel the elements, especially if you're driving up in the mountains, and you can really hear the mechanical sounds of the car better. You can really hear the exhaust better, you can hear the engine better. Mid-engine sounds great because the engine's right behind your head, but it's even better when you have the roof off, and I think it's very easy. And I'll put the convertible in this category too. Whether you have a Targa or convertible, I think it gives you a whole nother element to a driving experience. So if you live where there's good weather, or you dream of good weather, like where I live in the Northeast, luckily we shot this on a sunny day, and the Targa experience just makes such a difference. So I'm glad that Chevy kept the Targa top. And that is my number 2 reason to love the C8 Corvette. All right, so what's number 3? We're going to have 5 reasons total, but number 3 is really obvious. It is performance. Especially, I'll add performance, just incredible performance besides being mid-engine. So a lot of mid-engine cars, maybe like a Boxster or something, they have the great handling, but they don't have the power. So I think the Corvette gives you everything. You get a 0 to 60 time in just under 3 seconds. And let me tell you, I owned a McLaren 570S, and I sold it not long after I drove this car. And I'm telling you, this car had the performance of my 570S. And this is, a third of the price. My McLaren 570S, I bought it used, but the window sticker was $250,000 on it. The original owner paid back in 2017. This car here, with the 2LT package, Z51, and a couple other options, rang up for about $73,000. I go over those options in the full review, so you'll definitely check that out. But $73,000, you get almost the performance of a McLaren 570S. And from the front of this car, it actually looks like my McLaren. Check us out on Instagram at Glenn's Car Collection. And I actually posted a picture of the front of my McLaren 570S, the front of this car, and they look very similar styling-wise. So kudos to Chevy to make this car perform so well, especially at this price point. And imagine this is going to be, we haven't even seen the Z06 model yet, and that's going to have a crazy number of horsepower. It's going to be even faster, 0 to 60. And then imagine even the space car 5 years from now when there's thousands of them on the road and you can pick it up for a good price. And it's just going to be an amazing bargain. So we're all going to be driving slightly used C8 Corvettes 5 years in the future. And that brings us to, reason number 4, and I've touched on it already, is price. Where can you get this performance for $73,000? Now, I'd even be happy. 2LT makes a big difference. So that's something before I drove this car, the C8 Corvette, when I was filming this video, before I did it, the whole time I was thinking in my head, you know what? I would just get a 1LT Z51. It's $65,000 MSRP because it was like $59,995 or whatever, and then you add the Z51, so you're about $65,000 before taxes. That's my car. I can track it, performance, Z51, done. I got the target top, the mid-engine, all the important stuff. But after driving this, I think the features that the 2LT gives you, and I go over it in depth in that full review video, so I'm not going to waste time on it here. I think the 2LT is definitely worth the money, so I would probably spec it exactly like this for about $73,000, give or take, with the 2LT and the Z51 and a couple other options this had. You get really cool options, which I go over in the other video, and I think it's worth every penny. But look at it from a performance standpoint or a price standpoint for reason number 4 here. You can get this McLaren 570F's performance for $65,000 to $73,000, which is really, really incredible. So price blows me out of the water. I think they could have easily had a starting price of this car, $70,000, $75,000. And honestly, I think they'd sell almost as many. I really think the performance is that good and the car is that good to justify buying it. Reason number 5 is really going to blow your mind because if you watch this channel, you know I've reviewed over 800 cars. I personally have owned over 100 cars, and I've personally owned over 100 cars with manual transmissions. I just love a good manual. I just think even if it's in a slower car like S2000, I've owned a bunch of those, it just brings it a whole new driving experience. Even if you're doing errands around town, just going up and down through the gears, I just think makes a tremendous difference. And are you going to use, that extra power of that automatic or the dual clutch? And I just think, a manual, you feel like doing something. When you rip off a high RPM shift, you feel like you did something. I definitely do miss the manual transmission for this car, and I think it would be just another level, though it wouldn't have the performance, but it would be another level of involvement with the manual transmission, which makes a great car even better. But what really surprised me in this car is how good the dual clutch transmission was. I watch YouTube reviews just like you do, and I saw a lot of pre-production cars being driven by journalists, and they complained about the dual clutch transmission. So I'm like, oh, here we go. Chevy made everything, the price, the performance, my target top, mid-engine, everything I want, and they ruined it with a poor dual clutch transmission. But this dual clutch transmission is so good. I would buy the Corvette and be very, very happy with the dual clutch transmission. Now, would they offer me a manual? Would I take it? Of course. Would I take it over the dual clutch? Yeah. But I'm telling you, this dual clutch, if you're a diehard manual guy like me, this dual clutch has me believing. They did a fantastic job. And again, I only drove this car on the street. I didn't drive it on the track. But everything that I drove in this half-hour review, I probably spent 30 minutes, an hour driving this car. I was really, really impressed with the dual clutch transmission. Is it as good as McLaren or Porsche? I would say no, but it's still a fantastic, and you would really love this car. I mean, it's right up there. I would give the dual clutch transmission, an A or an A minus. So it really was that good. All right, guys, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Watch our full review. I'll link it at the end here, or search Glenn's Car Collection. Just put Glenn's Car Collection C8 Corvette in your search box and watch that whole review. I actually strap a GoPro up to my forehead and do a point of view as well. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.